Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about one topic, that is cities creation. One of the person told that this 20 percentage error basically is there basically, right? Then he told that yes basically. So do you have the correct education data basically? Then he told that correct education data means what actually you want to say? Correct education data means one of the person asked the question basically, do you have the correct education data? Then he told that basically that's very difficult to have the correct education data. Then like one person told that what actually I mean by correct education. For example, one chartered accountant person basically cleared the chartered accountancy in first attempt. Then he told that that person basically is a correct education data for the mathematics, for the numbering format. For that basically the doctors group basically medical industry basically used that person's body as a energy in the medical industry basically. And this basically like this entire bodies are basically used only, that is no basically few people says that basically like this only basically we creates the data basically. So like this basically that person got the good job in the chartered accountant industry, and he basically got the job in the medical industry. So like this basically the perfect data basically is there. Then one of the person told that basically that is perfect data, that's okay basically. Now basically one of the person told that 20 percentage error is actually what basically. Then he told that then he connect to the groups basically who created the words basically. For example, one of the person told that this is the word, that is the word. That is the word, this is the word. So he told that yeah, that is the word, that's okay basically. But how basically the education industry basically tracks that somebody is basically finding the error basically? That basically they have the news channel basically. They have the news channel basically in sky also basically, and in satellite also basically. They basically pass the information basically that somebody is basically trying to find the error basically of yours basically. Like this, they literally fires basically. That type of thing also basically is there basically. Whether this is correct or not, that's basically the people who have the experience basically, they only basically can track. For example, if you find basically error in Pune basically, for example one software company basically in Pune, if you find the error of Pune people, then they literally fires you basically. That's the Pune basically system basically. For example, I will take one example. Assume that basically 10 to 15 developers developed one project. One person basically is found some around 500 errors basically. Assume basically that. So that the person who actually found the error basically, he will be literally will get the problem basically. Few people says that basically sometime basically he faced the problem like from backside basically he got the blood from where the stool basically comes, that there basically he got the blood cells. Lots of basically there's few basically people says that his heart basically tried to get damaged basically, then few heart basically got damaged also basically. Then basically few people told that basically his eye has also basically got damaged. Then few people basically told that in Pune basically, in Pune this type of incidents happens basically. Then few people says that basically few people says that their basically eye also get damaged. Few people says that their head also basically get damaged. This all basically Pune software company does basically. Hinjawadi basically. Here basically not Hinjawadi basically, but that group basically. The entire Pune software company group basically. They do this type of activity basically. Then one of the person told that basically all the people for example one person is doing the testing, so the reporting person is not helping you. Basically they told that basically they are just saying and laughing basically. See basically he actually found the error. Now basically then basically see basically is from back basically blood basically came. The eye basically got damaged. The head basically got damaged. Like this basically thing happened. Then basically one of the person basically asked the question basically. Now basically the corona basically has came. So that basically came from the sky basically, from the universe basically. Now basically what you are going to do? This was basically question asked by one of the person to Pune software company basically. There was no answer actually. So one of the person told that basically whatever error the Earth planet basically gets, basically that error basically Earth planet people only supposed to check the error basically and basically correct the error. So this was the basically lesson basically which was found basically. So one of the person told that basically error basically sometimes few basically error basically connects to some new ideas basically that also basically few people say. For example, one person trying to get married, but girls basically says that yeah he is not good basically. He is a bad person basically. He drinks wine, he drinks beer, he have basically lots of girlfriends, this time lots of things basically rejected like this basically. This all basically the girls found the error basically. Some like this basically the girls say that basically this is the error basically. Then the one of the boy basically told that yeah ये girls के तो बहुत लफड़े हैं. This girl basically have lots of boyfriend basically. She basically have a habit of drugs. She have a habit of wine. She basically drinks daily basically wine daily basically. She drinks beer, lots of basically bad habits. So these all are basically the human error basically. So that's, for example, one person told that if girls basically drink beer or wine basically in India basically, that is error basically. But that same thing basically if you do in USA basically, that is not error basically. That basically say that basically that's basically the in the blood basically. In the blood means the according to the climate basically, according to the environment basically, they have to drink the beer and they have to drink the wine basically. So that basically few people basically told. So according to the environment basically the people gets adjust basically. So like this basically things are basically there. So this is also basically one of the error basically. So one of the person told that how basically this is connecting to the education basically. This is education only basically. The people who are basically in USA drinking the wine basically, they are not educated. Then he told that yes, basically they are educated. They are basically from few people are from IITs and IM basically. Those basically visit the USA, they basically gets the job from USA and they basically they basically drinks the wine basically. That means this is not education basically. Then they told that yes, basically this is also education basically. But there basically this is good education basically. But same thing basically if you do here basically in India, that is bad education. That converts to bad education basically. That's basically comes into the habit side basically. That comes into the habit side basically. Habit means adat basically. In Hindi basically it is called habit basically. So like this basically things are basically there basically. So this is also basically comes on into the 20 percentage education error basically. Actually this is not error basically, but this has converted into error. So one of the person told that the system basically, the education system is there basically, right? That basically converts to error basically. That means you want to say error actually means, one of the person asked the error, the question basically what actually error is. Then one of the person told that basically human basically body basically converts to error and non-error basically. So that basically who do basically, that is the system basically who does. For example, beer example. Beer if you drink here basically in India, girls basically, I will take example of girls. Boys basically drinks basically beer. Assume that girls basically drink beer here in India, that is basically bad. Or basically drinks wine basically in India, that is bad basically. So that converts to error basically by the system basically. Because if girls drink wine or beer basically in India basically, that converts to error by certain groups basically. They converted this to the error basically. Then basically same girl basically drinks wine and beer in the USA or UK, that is not error basically. That is actually not error. Why? Because the system has not converted that into error basically. So one of the person told that basically this 20 percentage error basically which you have found, that is like that, or basically the due to the system basically created group basically, due to that group basically this has converted into error basically. So one of the person asked the question basically, who is that group basically? Then one of the person told that in India basically, that is State Bank of India basically. State Bank of India group basically. Then he told that State Bank of India group basically never comes in front directly basically. Directly they never comes basically. they basically